Earth 1 is a universe where we have a more realistic take on your favorite superheroes. Today, we're going to be concluding Green Lantern. Last time, we showed you how he got the ring, but this time, we're going to see the fight between the Manhunters and the Green Lantern Corps. When we last left off, Hal and Kilowog were facing off against Kilowog's people as the general showed up and told them to stop messing with the Green Lantern rings. But that's when the Manhunters flew in, firing down on everyone. The Manhunters, who had conquered the entire galaxy. Hal got up as they were being fired at, pulled Kilowog out of the blast, and he rocketed off into space. And as the general gets back up, he sees the two leaving, scoffing, calling them cowards. A short while later, Hal slams down onto a broken moon with Kilowog, and just as Kilowog wakes back up, he turns his ring on to Hal. Hal shouts, whoa, hang on, it's only me. And Kilowog puts his arm down asking, where are we? Hal tells him, I don't know, but we should probably get out of here. And Kilowog stops him asking, what? Why? We need to get back there. How could you have left them? Now the Manhunters are gonna take Bullivac's Vic. They won't stop coming. And Hal tells him, that would be crazy, it would be suicide. And Kilowog readies himself, taking back off into space. Hal tries to go after him, but Kilowog fades off into the blackness of the void, and he stops, telling himself, I can't even go after him, I don't know where he's going. How can I just disappear following someone else? Just then his ring begins to shine, reacting to something on the moon. Hal flies closer to some of the buildings and he sees one destroyed with the Green Lantern symbol in front of it. He lands and a voice calls out to him, Penelope. Hal turns around and Kilowog goes on telling him Penelope was the Green Lantern of this sector. This was his world and you were right, I can't do this alone. Hal then asks, are there any more Green Lanterns out there anymore? And Kilowog tells him, it's possible, though. They say the Manhunters destroyed the central battery on Oa. The rings aren't as powerful as they once were. If we're gonna try to find the others, it's not gonna be easy. Hal then asks, when has it ever been easy? The two begin to search for more lanterns, traveling from planet to planet, following wherever the rumors may lead, until they finally investigate a seemingly deserted planet. They fly into the planet's underground tunnels and two large green constructs slam them both into the wall, and a voice demands to know who they are. The two look back to see a woman with short hair, and Kilowog manages to state that they need help. She says that those rings mean nothing. She's seen their kind before, and finding a weapon doesn't make them a warrior. They all know about the war. Hal looks at the people gathering around and says that he can see that she is a protector. It's our mission too. Kilowog's home planet is being destroyed by Manhunters. The woman releases the constructs, telling them that she'll let them go. But if they ever return here, she swears upon the heart of Orissa, the woman that she was named after, that they will die. Later on Mob Gira in the Opa system, Hal and Kilowog follow yet another lead that brings them to Vecca. Vecca tells them that he's sorry, but the information they gathered about the Green Lanterns is a bit outdated. They're about 20 cycles too late. Hal asks if there's any information that may point them in the right direction, and Vecca tells them that he's sorry. But what exactly do they know about the Lantern Corps? Kilowog says that they don't know much, and Vecca says, perhaps I can clear something up for you. I myself wasn't told things, I experienced them. The Owens sought to bring order to the galaxy by creating the Green Lantern Corps, and in doing so, they referred to themselves as the Guardians. Though the Guardians held themselves at a distance from the Corps, in time, they felt threatened by the power that they had bestowed upon so many beings. The Manhunters were created by the Guardians to destroy the very thing that the Guardians created because they had gotten too diverse and unwieldy for them to control. The Manhunters were used to destroy the Green Lantern Corps, and they did just that. Those that did manage to escape were left with diminished powers due to the central power battery of Oa being destroyed. I'm sorry to say, but there is little that can be done regarding Bullivac's Vic. You are, however, welcome to stay here with me. With that, Hal and Kilowog leave, and Vecca opens up a small box containing his Green Lantern ring. Later, as the two rest up in an abandoned space station before their next lead, Hal and Kilowog sit and drink, talking about how things used to be back on Earth. But as the conversation goes on, Kilowog responds in his native alien tongue. Hal sighs, stating that it looks like the rings are gonna be dead soon. He's gonna go looking for more booze. Just as Hal gets up to leave, he's pushed aside by an alien, which seems to be followed by a stampeding crowd. Hal looks up to see a Manhunter ship flying down, and as Hal shouts to Kilowog that they need to leave, Hal is suddenly knocked out. A short while later, as Hal opens his eyes, he sees himself crammed into a small space with a dozen other aliens. Soon the hatch to the ship drops, and the Manhunter begins speaking in a language that Hal can't understand, seemingly ordering everyone that they need to move. Hal follows the crowd, and as they start to go below the planet's surface, they're all handed a pickaxe. Hal takes his and remembers that he's wearing his ring, and he quickly takes it off, shoving it into his pocket. Time passes as Hal is now forced to work in the mines, and shortly into a shift, he hears some of the aliens arguing with the Manhunters. The Manhunter incinerates the group, and from not paying attention, Hal slips and drops his pick. A female alien grabs it before it's lost, and Hal says, thanks. He continues to work in the harsh mine, watching others die, sleeping in cramped areas, drinking disgusting water that has body parts floating in it. One morning, as the workers are escorted back into the mines, Hal hears the alien speaking, and suddenly, he can understand them. He looks down in his pocket to see the ring is charging, but before anyone can notice, he hurries into the mine. He gets to work, and another alien tells him that was his spot, and Hal shouts back that this isn't his spot, and he knows it. The alien gets ready to attack, but Hal slides back on his ring and blasts the alien with the power of the Green Lanterns. Hal sighs, stating that was supposed to be a secret, and just as the Manhunters arrive, the alien woman from before runs by, grabbing him, shouting, "This way!" The two get behind a rock, and the woman asks if that's what she thinks it is, and Hal tells her yeah, but it's kind of useless at the moment. Seems like it can only translate. We need to get to the surface. Whatever is up there is charging the ring. Maybe one of the lantern batteries is up there. The woman tells him that getting to the surface is the easy part. It's just not getting killed in the process that's going to be a tad difficult. After sneaking onto one of the loaders, Hal and the woman make their way to the surface, but that's when they have to wait for the acid rain to pass. While they wait, Hal looks at the ring, stating that if only he could make a shield, and the woman ignores the comment, stating that they are close to the building that he described, and once they get there, they can power up that ring and get off this planet. Hal then says that maybe they should try and bring the people along with them, and the woman stops him, telling him that she doesn't care about them, and neither does he. When they leave this place, they won't be coming back, and the others are going to have to find a way out on their own. Hal goes quiet, and the woman says he knows that she's right. The two sleep, letting the rain pass, and Hal wakes up finding himself alone and without his ring. He runs out towards the place where the ring was charging and sees the woman standing there holding the ring up. He tells her that she needs to be careful with that, and she snaps back that he never deserved it. All he did was find it. She is more capable of using it, so stand back. Just then, the woman releases a blast of energy into the building. Hal gets back up, stating that she needs to be careful. Just give him the ring but then a blue blast hits the ground, and the Manhunters start to fly towards Hal and the woman. The woman turns the ring on the Manhunters, but before she can fire off an attack, one of the Manhunters incinerates her where she's standing. Hal runs over to take cover, and the woman's finger wearing the ring hits the ground. He snatches it up, shouting to the ring, "Just let me fly!" However, the ring doesn't carry him away, and he turns to the building and blasts a hole into it. After crawling through it, he sees a bright green light, and that's when he sees the Owen Central Power Battery. It was in fact never destroyed. Hal says, "Here it goes," and he holds out his ring, and just as he does, an immense amount of power shoots into the ring, and a loud voice asks, "Who are you?" Hal tells the voice, "My name is Harold Jordan. Earth is..." And a small figure appears, telling him, "It doesn't matter. Now listen closely. The Manhunters will soon enter the containment dome. As the sole survivor of the Owen Council, I must ask you to do a very important task. Those Manhunters were created to protect against the unpredictable Green Lanterns. The Manhunters cannot replicate, but they can repair. The Manhunters turned on us, killing off all of the Owens. But with that fully charged ring, there is something that you must do. Destroy the containment field. Let the energy flow freely to allow the other lanterns to become fully charged. Call out to all of the remaining lanterns. Tell them this location. And together we can turn their energy towards the battery. The feedback will loop back and destroy Oa and the Manhunters." Hal says, "Wait, I can't do that. There are thousands of people here. It would slaughter everyone on a massive scale." And the man asks, "What are those lies in the face of peace for the galaxy? There is only one way. The battery cannot be destroyed. It can only be used as a weapon. Now go!" Soon the light begins to fade, and Hal begins to hear the footsteps of Manhunters walking in. He turns, focusing his ring, and the blast from the ring shoots out, piercing through the heads of two Manhunters. Hal says, "Well, damn!" He then flies up out of the dome to try and begin destroying it, but as he does, several more Manhunters appear, and they begin to attack. He manages to shield himself from those blasts, and then he shoots off into space to get away. Once there are no more Manhunters following, he looks at the ring and asks if it can send out a distress signal. The ring responds with, "Omnidirectional distress signal prepared." And Hal says, "Finally! Send the message!" Once he's finished, he flies down to Oa to fight the Manhunters, but his message begins to be sent out to anyone wearing a ring. He tells them that he knows they don't know who he is or have any reason to trust him, but believe him when he says the power battery of Oa is intact. There may be no one left who can help him, but this has to stop, and he's going to give it his best shot. As the Manhunters begin to overwhelm Hal, one is blasted away and Kilowog flies down shouting, "All we needed was location, buddy." More Manhunters begin to fly in, and Hal grabs Kilowog, telling him, "We're gonna need to create a hole in this dome. Protect me for as long as you can, Kilowog." And while Kilowog does just that, Hal creates a construct, just as Orissa did back on her planet. After making the hole, Kilowog looks in, and a Manhunter shoots out, punching into his stomach, and another punches him to the ground. Hal shouts to Kilowog, but before he has a chance to get to him, a spacecraft flies down, shooting missiles, knocking everyone away. But from them, something else comes out, and everyone with a Green Lantern ring arrives to battle off the Manhunters. Hal looks up and in a moment of awe tells everyone to focus their attacks on the dome. All of the Lanterns use their rings to tear it apart, revealing and letting out the Owen Power Battery. Everyone's ring begins to charge up, and Hal tells everyone that they're supposed to blast the battery, but that would end up destroying everything, including the people around there. Sinestro then tells him, if that's the case, it would be a small price to pay for the freedom of everyone on their home planets. Orisa shouts, whatever we do, we better do it quick. Shielding off these Manhunters is only gonna get us so far. Another alien says that he might have a plan to release the charge and save everyone, and Hal tells him, I'm ready for anything at this point. A few moments later, all of the Lanterns hit that central power battery, destroying the Manhunters, and setting off an explosion that can be seen from outer space. As the smoke clears, Hal looks back asking how, and Kilowog flies down telling him that this thing works a lot better when charged, huh? Orisa flies down telling them that they have to move, and Hal says right, to the mines. All of the Lanterns fly below the surface of the planet, and just as the miners are rounded up, Vecca is shot from behind. Hal catches the miners that he was carrying and calls out to Vecca as he falls. He takes off his ring stating that he must pass it on. Help those in need. Hal takes the ring, and seconds later, all of the miners are pulled out of the mines and into the air. Once in space, Hal tells everyone to get ready. They're about to fly really, really fast. A short while later, on Paraquay, an uninhabited moon in the Pakachi system, everyone drinks the fresh water, and they take their time to recover. Hal notices a woman by herself, and he asks if there was a Green Lantern where she came from. She tells him no, and Hal hands her Vecca's ring, stating, there is now. You're gonna have to figure out how to use it, but if you need help, call on any of us here. Once everyone has taken time to recover, one of the Lanterns asks, what do they do now? And Kilowog says that they should go to their homes and secure them, and everyone agrees. Sinestro says, we're all in agreement then. We need to decide who's going to lead us, though. Hal says, how about we nominate Orisa? And Kilowog yells, I second that. She has more skill and knowledge than any of us here. Plus, she's damn scary when she wants to be. She sighs and says, if they all want her to, she can try. She just hopes she won't let them down. Hal then asks, all in favor, and all of the Lanterns say yes. With everyone now having a set plan in motion, Hal and Kilowog head back to Bolovax Vic to clean up the last remaining Manhunters on Kilowog's planet. Once it's done, Hal says his goodbyes, and he heads off into space. Meanwhile, in an unknown location, the unknown figure who was before giving Hal instructions to destroy Oa sighs and says that if only he had done what was asked. Those Green Lanterns were always too willful. They think they know what's best. That blast would have ended our problems, Manhunters and Lanterns alike. However, I designed those rings so long ago, and this time, I did a much better job. He walks into a room with another central power battery, but this one is yellow, and everyone in the room raises their fists into the air, all wearing a yellow ring. A short while later, back on Earth, Amy Seaton, Hal's captain in the mining mission, gets ready to walk home when she hears a voice call out to her from the alleyway. She looks back to see Hal and asks, Hal, is that really you? And he tells her, yeah, it's me. It's a really long story, but there's more out there than you could have imagined. And now that I'm back, I've brought home the tools to make this world a better place. And there you have it, a really interesting take on the Green Lantern lore. Personally, I really did enjoy this. And that cliffhanger with the Yellow Lanterns, oh my god, give me a volume 2, I need it right now. Don't forget to join our community over on our Discord where we talk about some of your favorite comic books and video games. And I'll see you next time right here at Comicstorian.